Hi guys, I just want to come on and share something with you that I saw today. I saw this video today on a Facebook reel, and I don't make videos often, but I thought this is noteworthy. So I saw this lady talking about cognitive dissonance, and what that really has to do with is trauma. And trauma isn't always maybe like physical abuse, sexual abuse. People can get trauma from seeing a fight, from a car accident, right? But the brain creates cognitive dissonance when there are inconsistencies. These inconsistencies can take place in toxic relationships, and toxic relationships are not always intimate relationships. It could be anything, right? It could be with a boss, it could be with a child, it could be with a parent. It just happens, right? But what the brain does, the brain is so powerful. It is such a wonderful thing. It's such a wonderful way how God has created us, that what the brain does, the brain, whenever the brain detects any type of inconsistencies, whenever we feel uncomfortable being around someone, or when something says, something's not right. Like I always tell the people that I work with, now you know when someone is lying to you, because it's just something in your gut that says, that is called, just to give you a terminology for it, a clinical term for it, it is called cognitive dissonance. That is when you have two conflicting beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors twirling around in your head. And what the person is saying and the emotions that you are feeling, kind of like the fight, flight, freeze, right? It's kind of like that. Matter of fact, that's exactly what it is. So whenever our brain detects these inconsistencies, we feel discomfort, and our emotions become divided, because what we're feeling, what we're experiencing in the here and now, is different than what the person is saying, or their behaviors is different. That is called cognitive dissonance. And so what the brain tried to do, it tries to rectify that. Now, what does that look like? That looks like in real time, real life, right? What it looks like is when people start lying to themselves. And they'll say, no, that's not what it is. It's just me. No, because they were so nice before, right? My dog is barking. So the brain rather, it tried to rectify or create homeostasis, right? In the brain, in our body. It's kind of like how a car has to be calibrated. The tires on your car have to be calibrated, right? You drive at 80 miles an hour and the car starts shaking. You're just like, I need a front end alignment. Well, our bodies do the same thing. It has to be calibrated. So what the brain does whenever we encounter these inconsistencies and these phenomenons that brings us discomfort, it tries to recalibrate you and bring you to a state of homeostasis. And it tries to bring you comfort. This is what the brain does to most people unawares. And that's why you feel the discomfort, because the brain is saying, wait, what I'm experiencing and what the person is saying is two different things. So we begin to lie to ourselves and say, no, it's just me. That's nothing. They never would do that. But the brain tried to bring homeostasis back into our lives. It tries to bring us comfort and consistency, to get us back on that path to consistency. And this is the other thing I tell people. You know, the brain retains, and the body actually retains memory. I used to work out avidly. I mean, I was in the gym like every day. And at one time I had fell off from working out. And then I started back working out, and I had this personal trainer. And I tell this story all the time because this is how the brain works when it comes to trauma. So I started working out, and I was telling the guy, I have something in my eye. I was telling the guy that was my personal trainer, I was like, oh, it's going to take me so long to get back into the shape that I was in. And he said, no, it's going to be easier than you think, because the muscles, the brain, retain memory. So it doesn't matter how long it's been since you worked out, the body is going to remember that. Trauma is the same way. Whether you witness trauma, you experience trauma, firsthand, secondhand trauma, the brain remembers that, and it sends you into this dysregulated state, which is called cognitive dissonance. And it tries to get you back into a regulated state by creating comfort. And people try to comfort themselves in different ways. They try to do it through alcohol, they try to do it through drugs, they try to do it through sex, they try to do it through eating, working out. They try to do it by ignoring the problem. And there are some healthy ways that people try to bring that comfort and consistency back into their lives. They go to counseling and they tell the therapist, I know I'm not crazy. Like, this is actually what is happening. And the therapist or the counselor validate your feelings, and then you're back regulated, right? So I know a lot of you guys could probably relate with that, but I wanted to share that because it's noteworthy to be shared. Whenever you are entering into a place, or you're encountering a person, and you get that and your gut is like, no, you know they lying, right? Or something ain't right about that. That is called cognitive dissonance, because you have two conflicting beliefs going on in your head. And what the body tries to do, the brain tries to do, is bring you back to a regulated state. It tries to bring you back down the path of consistency, of comfort, and create that homeostasis that you need in your life. Be blessed. Thank you for watching.